The shadow in the darkness and the outskirts of a quiet town, there stood an ancient forest. The trees were tall and gnarled, their twisted branches casting eerie shapes when night fell. Few ventured into the forest after dusk, for it was said to be cursed, home to a shadow that only appeared when the moon was hidden. One such night, when the moon was veiled behind thick clouds, a young woman named Alara, curious and unafraid, decided to explore the forbidden woods. Her lantern flickered as she walked deeper, the soft crunch of leaves underfoot the only sound in the silence. As she ventured further, the forest grew darker. The trees seemed to close in around her, their shadows long and ominous. Suddenly, the air grew colder, and the soft rustle of leaves turned into a low whisper. Alara paused, sensing she was not alone. Her heart raced as the whispering grew louder, swirling around her like a sinister breeze. Out of the corner of her eye, she saw it, the shadow. It wasn't cast by the trees or her lantern. It moved with purpose, slithering across the ground, growing larger with each passing second. Alara's breath caught in her throat as the shadow took form, a silhouette of a figure, darker than the night itself. "Who are you?" she called out, her voice trembling. The shadow moved closer, its form shifting and twisting. It didn't speak but seemed to pulsate with a strange energy, drawing her in. Alara stepped back, her lantern trembling in her hand, but the shadow followed, relentless. It reached out, not with hands, but with tendrils of darkness, and for a moment, she felt a coldness seep into her bones. Suddenly, a memory flashed in her mind, an old story her grandmother used to tell her. A tale of a shadow that consumed the souls of the curious, those who wandered too far into the darkness. Panic surged through her, but it was too late. The shadow engulfed her, its darkness swallowing the light of her lantern. Alara felt herself slipping, the world fading into nothingness. Just as she thought she was lost, a faint light appeared in the distance, cutting through the shadow. She reached for it, her fingers brushing the edge of the glow, and with a final burst of strength, she pulled herself free. Gasping for breath, Alara found herself at the edge of the forest, the shadow retreating back into the darkness. The whispers faded, and the air grew still once more. She had escaped, but the forest had marked her. From that day on, whenever the moon was hidden, she would see the shadow in her dreams, lurking, waiting, and she knew, one day, it would return. The townspeople still spoke of the forest and its dark secrets, warning others not to wander too far. But none knew the truth as Alara did, that the shadow was not bound to the forest. It lived in the darkness itself, and once it had found you, it would never let go.